What's up, nerds? We are your hosts. I am Jake.
And I'm Chad.
This week we are sponsored by Ray's Energy Drinks. That almost threw me off. I always say the other one. Yeah.
We're also sponsored by the other one, Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce.
This week we are going to talk about The Last of Us on now streaming. Sorry, now streaming on HBO Max
We'll
or
also be,
HBO in general.
yeah, you're right. Just on HBO.
Yeah.
You can get it on Max though.
Mhm.
We'll also be talking about the Legend of Vox Machina season 2, which is on Amazon Prime Video. So, let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast.
Pink.
Nerd.
Welcome back, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Chadley,
Yeah.
did I miss something?
No.
Why'd you give me that look? Oh, I was like, fuck. I screwed it up. How was your week, dude?
Well, my week was actually pretty good. It's
Yeah.
just you were gone last week, so it's been a hot minute.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it was good. My friend came and visited for a few days, which was fun. Just hung out, watched Netflix, drank, made some good food. I made a vegan chicken parmesan that was just
Ooh,
fucking killer. It
that
turned
sounds
out so
bomb.
well.
What'd you
Um,
use for the chicken?
I actually found so they're like chicken fillets, but they're like
Oh,
breaded
yeah.
already,
Okay.
but from Costco. So
Mm,
it's like a brand I'd never heard of, but it actually like the breading on it's really good for it being like pre-made, which was
nice.
awesome. Because
Good.
a lot of times like the breading that's like on the chicky nuggies that we always eat, or like the patty versions, like they're okay,
Mm,
but this was actually like southern style fried breading on it, which
nice.
was dope.
Hell yeah.
But it was all vegan, so that was fantastic. What about
Dope.
you? How was paradise? Oh.
Yeah, we went to Cancun, Mexico. It was a lot of fun. Um, it was gorgeous. It rained for like an hour the whole time we were there, and the sun came right back out. Um, yeah, it was, I mean, I don't know if I've ever drank as much tequila as I did in Cancun. They just bring it to you. They're just like, here, more tequila. It was all inclusive, so food and drinks were included, and boy, were they included. A lot of tequila. But yeah, it was a good time. There's like one scary moment that happened when we left the resort. Um, some armed police, maybe guards, I don't know,
Police, yeah.
boarded our boarded
Militia.
our bus with machine guns and took pictures of everybody and then left and let us go. It was weird.
That is weird. I
It
would have
was a
shit
little
my
scary.
pants.
Yeah, I didn't re the funny part is I didn't realize that it was scary. I like was like, oh yeah, whatever, we're in Mexico. And like when we got to where we were going, Nicole was like, that was really scary. And like I thought about it for a second and I was like, that was really scary. What the fuck was that? I was like, yeah, why did they do
Adrenaline.
that? Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that was
crazy.
funny. Yeah. But otherwise it was so much fun. Uh Bluest water I've ever seen in my entire life. It was crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is really cool
Yeah.
though.
Hmm. Did some jet skiing, went shopping, got you some stuff. You got to come pick it up. But yeah.
Okay. No,
And
I'm
then
just
try
kidding.
this. And then you got to come here, pick that up and try this tequila with me. I bought like a $100 bottle of tequila and I'm itching to try it, but I haven't opened it yet. I won't do it. I'll wait for you.
Oh,
I'll wait.
thanks.
I'll wait for you.
Get me a ring to make that promise sealed.
Yeah. I got some weird stuff. I got my well, what I won't go too far into it, but I bought my mom a necklace and it's you're gonna make a joke about it, but it's a clam that they like leave. It's not very vegan of me, but they leave it in a container for like 5 years
Mm-hmm.
and then you pry it open, and there's a pearl in it, and then you put the pearl in the necklace, and
Okay.
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, not very vegan of you.
No, it's already dead. The clam's dead.
Yeah.
It's not like a living clam that you're gonna kill by opening it, but
Yeah, but
yeah,
by letting it sit, the pearl hardens. I get
yeah,
that.
it's sad, but it was unique.
It's already dead. I mean,
Yeah,
and they naturally produce it, so why not
yeah.
get
But
some value?
anyways,
That is kind of cool.
it is cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, while you were gone, and I fully blame you, the Vikings one and done in the playoffs.
Yep. It was a real bummer. I watched it from the lobby of the resort, and there was one New York fan, one single person, and she was rubbing it in real fucking hard. I almost cracked the beer bottle over her head. Yeah, it was
Just
real
remember that
unfortunate.
in to get to the playoffs, and I know that doesn't matter anymore because it's the playoffs, but they blew like a 20-point lead and lost in overtime to us by a field goal.
Hmm.
So I knew going in that it was going to be a tough game. It just sucks that we went in being like, oh, look at our record. We're so good. We got
Yeah.
this. And then
It was a close game too. For most of the game, it was pretty
it
close.
was back and
And then it
forth for a
just
while. And
yeah.
that's why I also felt optimistic because I was like, well, Minnesota thrives in the
The
second half.
comeback kings, yeah.
But I guess we weren't down by enough going into the second half for them to try,
Yeah.
which is a bummer. But
So, famous last words from a Minnesota Viking fan.
there's always next year.
Always next year. God damn it.
I'm going to be a little upset if they do get rid of Cousins because he had a phenomenal season.
I don't think they will.
There's already talks that he's gone or will
Really?
be. Yeah.
That's dumb. It's
Yeah.
not his fault that you can't put a fucking O line together.
Right?
Yeah. Whatever. That's a
Yeah.
different podcast. We have 100 of them.
Yeah.
Uh,
They're all theoretical,
the other
but they all
some
involve drinking.
exciting news for us and other people who have watched season one is Invincible season two has finally given us
An
something.
announcement.
And announced it's not really a trailer. You don't get to see anything.
Yeah, it's just a
But
teaser.
it's just a one-on-one with Invincible talking to Seth Rogen's character. I forget the character's
I
name.
do too. I should have looked it up.
Yeah.
The
Fucking
Cyclops dude that he met on the
from
moon.
yeah. And it's basically just Seth Rogen like grilling Steven Yeun about when season two is gonna drop, and he finally is like late, not December, late
2023.
2023. So, which is a bummer because we're only just now in 2023, so it's like a
Yeah.
year. That totally sucks.
Or according to your math, like 4 months.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
it's a
it
bummer.
but it was a very enjoyable teaser because it was very meta without like fully like breaking it because the show is just called Invincible. That's like his superhero name also. So it's
Hmm.
like people are wondering when is there going to be more Invincible? Like when are you going to get back out there and give the people what they want? More Invincible. And he's like, I don't know, later. And he's like, give me a specific date. And he's like, I don't know, late 2023. And Seth Rogen's character is like, okay. I don't know what that means, but that sounds promising. Every single planet goes on different time. So I
Yeah,
don't know if that's like soon or later, but I'm sure the people will understand. It was it
and
was
we
funny.
don't, and that's why it's funny.
Yeah. We just know that it's coming this year
Yeah. God damn it.
after summer
It'd be really funny if it came out like
in a couple weeks.
August or some shit. Yeah.
Well, I mean the first season what dropped in like November of 2020 or was it 2021?
I don't know. It's been like 2 years. Yeah.
I think
So
I was in Ohio when it came
I
out,
was,
so it was
yeah. Because I watched it
2021
and then
early.
flew to Ohio to visit you, and then Nicole watched it while I was in Ohio with
Yeah,
you.
so that was like early 2021. Yeah. Oh, but still
Yeah.
exciting to know that like They didn't give up on it. I mean, they have
Yeah.
enough source material to make 12 seasons,
Mm.
and the main producer is the guy from The Walking Dead
Mm.
who
Uh.
who wrote it.
Uh. Kirk.
Rick
Something Kirk.
Grimes. No, I'm just kidding. Coral.
Coral. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. 6 to midnight.
Oh, so fast. So fast. But that's really about it. So we're going to tell you about our first sponsor, and then we're going to talk about the legend of Vox Machina from Critical Role. So, first off, the sponsor part that you all love and look forward to every single episode is hearing about Ray's energy drinks and us butchering it every week because we think it's funny. But it's, it's a good energy drink. There's zero sugar, zero calories, zero crash. And if that's not your thing, you can also get the pickled habanero and garlic version. No, if that's not your thing, they have more than just energy drinks. So listen up, learn how to save 15% on your entire order. We'll be right back with you to talk about the legend of Vox Machina. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Ray's Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with zero crash. Ray's Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Ray's Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Ray's Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you.
Okay.
Do you?
So yeah, I think I lost myself on but I got it. We're good. Vox Machina,
Machina.
Macarena,
Macarena.
Macarena.
I.
Um, Spoiler alert, first and foremost, if you haven't watched season 2 yet, fuck off and come back. But
It's only the first 3 episodes, and
they released the first 3 episodes, which is really cool.
which is what you were going to say, and I'm sorry for cutting you
It's
off.
okay. No, it's okay. I'll cut you
Mahalo.
off. It was, anyways, yeah. If you haven't watched it, check out. Come back later. If you haven't watched any of it, go watch it because it's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So before we get into these first 3 episodes, those that don't know, the Legends of Vox Machina it's an animated retelling basically of Dungeons and Dragons campaigns from Critical Role. They have a huge like YouTube channel. It's a bunch of voice actors, and they bring in like guests for like, in this case it'd be for episodes, but they actually like bring in their friends from different projects that they've worked on, whether it be live action or voice acting, to play like one-off characters, but they break it into episodes, which is really awesome. Because like 3 hours of a D&D campaign is like 15-20 minutes of a TV show. So like this is like hours and hours of just nerds playing D&D that are also in Hollywood. It's really cool. I always fuck up his last name. Sofia Vergara's husband, Joe Me,
Mangoliano,
yeah,
Mangligiano.
yeah, him.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, I mean, Soph, Sophia, Sophia Beatrice, Sophie Beatrice, has been on the show and stuff like that. Fucking Cheech from Cheech and Chong has been on the show. Like, there's all kinds of
Cheech Marin.
Cheech Marin. I never remember his last name, but yes, he actually voices the bear.
Nice.
I didn't know if you knew that. I
I
didn't know. I
didn't.
didn't know that until like a couple days
So
ago.
yeah.
Yeah, David Tennant, who was literally fucking Doctor Who,
Hmm.
had a larger character in the first season. I mean, it's awesome. Just to even watch their like live streams and video production of them just playing D&D because they're hilarious. But they voiced their actual D&D characters in the show,
Yeah.
and it's just very enjoyable. But so they released the first 3 episodes of season 2 this past week, and I mean it
Hmm.
picks up right, literally from the final scene of what season 1 ended with. You know,
Hmm.
they completed their mission. They're getting rewarded by the king, and then a flock of dragons are flying towards the kingdom.
Flock of dragons.
Well, when it comes to dragons, more than one is fucking terrifying.
But like, do you? So here's. I don't even care. I don't know why I'm even saying it. But so when you what you call like a flock of seagulls, if you will, uh, and then are you too young for that flock of seagulls? That was the thing. No,
Are you talking about the Yoda dancing to
no,
the song of Flock of
it was a
Seagulls?
it was a group.
Oh,
Sorry, it was a music group, and
then
they wore
yes.
their hair very weird.
Oh,
But
that's why you
anyways,
did
that's why
what
I
you
did
did.
that thing. Yeah. Anyways,
Watch this on
our
YouTube.
um, but then you call like a flock of like crows like a murder, and then uh oh I forget what it is. Is it a flock of geese? I thought it was something else. But I don't know. I was just saying like what would you actually call a flock of dragons?
Death.
I think a murder would be better than a flock.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
anyways,
um, yeah, because
so,
dragons don't work together.
yeah.
They just don't. Depends. Like, depends. I mean, look at like any piece of fantasy lore. Like, it's one dragon.
Hmm.
Unless you're counting like Reign of Fire. Great movie, by the way. But
Movie was cool.
there's a lot
Yeah.
of dragons in that one.
Other than Matthew McConaughey's ever-changing beard.
It's all right. All right. All right.
It's not all right, all right, all right.
No, but so there's like 4 dragons, and this opening sequence of the first episode of season 2 is just murder and mayhem, and
Yeah.
it is ridiculous.
Hmm. It's cool. Different kinds of dragons that breathe different kinds of things. I mean,
Yeah,
there was people just get like exploding in ice. Like
the ice
it was
dragon
fucking
was
cool.
so
Yeah.
fucking rad. And then like an acid dragon. Obviously, there's a fire breathing dragon that's
He
kind
was
of like the
tripping the whole
leader,
time, yeah.
and then there's like uses like gas
Hmm.
from its mouth. Not not the
It's
other
a
one.
fart
It's a
dragon.
fart dragon. But it's really cool, and it's
Yeah.
really. I mean, this show is gory. It's
It's
animated.
it's peak animation. I
Yeah,
love it. It's so fucking good.
it is incredible. We already know that there's going to be more backstory and history on certain characters,
Hmm.
which
Like the
is awesome.
twins.
Like the twins, we see them as kids, but they're
Fuck
kind
them
of like
kids.
snot. Yeah, fuck them kids.
I mean, don't fuck those kids because that's gross.
Tink tink. Dad.
So stupid. I just Chris Evans
That
laughed.
was a Chris Evans laugh.
Only I wasn't wearing a sweater. And now you Chris Evans laugh. You gotta do both hands.
Oh,
Both
sorry.
hands.
I'm sitting in a chair. I can't fall back onto my knees.
Oh my
We
God.
love you, Chris Evans. Uh,
Yeah.
and your laugh. But also, it seems like we're gonna get like some of Grog's backstory and even some Scanlan,
Hmm.
our favorite perverted dwarf bard.
Bisexual dwarf bard.
Oh, he's just
He'll fuck.
DTF.
Yeah, he'll fuck anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll find a hole. What? You too good for your home?
Yeah. Or he'll just make one. Dahmer?
Hmm.
Why'd you go there, dude? That's fucked up.
You're the one that went there. You shouldn't joke about that. That was fucked.
Tink tink, Dad? Why? Why do we do this podcast? This is so stupid.
I don't know. Also, the people that are still listening are as perverted as us and fucked up as us, and we appreciate you. But the ones that left, just know that they are squares. But I mean, the show is so good.
Hmm.
Who's we talked about this when we talked about season one, but I think that through season one and going into the first few episodes of season two, that some of our favorites might have changed.
Hmm.
Who's your favorite characters currently?
Scanlan, for me, Scanlan, and I think Pike.
Pike is so badass.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, I do love Scanlan because
Percy? Percy's your
no,
favorite.
Percy's the worst. Nothing
First of
against
all,
nothing against the person who created him for the campaign or voices him. Just Percy
boring.
just seems very whiny.
He-
Kalith and Pike are my two favorites. So Pike is she's a dwarf cleric,
Mhm.
and then Kalith is a wood elf.
Mhm.
I don't know if she's a warlock or
Yeah.
what her actual class is.
I also really love Grog, though.
Grog is the big, beautiful idiot.
He's Drax.
Yeah, he is Drax. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But he is also very loyal,
Yeah.
especially to Pike. Like, him and Pike have a bond
Tink, tink.
that would split one of them in half. But
Sorry, Mom.
definitely sorry, Mom. In the first season, I really liked Vex and Vax because they're like half elves, rangers, and that's like who my current character in D&D is.
I'm having a moment. I'm sorry.
You're
Keep
fine.
talking.
But I mean, I'm excited to see more of their backstory because it is going to be interesting. But yeah, Kalith is the fucking shit.
Yeah.
Casters are like OG goats when it comes to D&D, especially Pike. Like she like can heal. She uses this is
See? That doesn't matter if she can split in half. She can.
yeah, she could just use burning hands or healing word on herself.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I was actually crying from laughing. I had to like take my headphones off and like
Wipe
spin
her
out
eyes.
for a second. Yeah. I was gonna say step out, but I really just turned my chair around, so spin out worked. Oh, that's rough. Anyways,
But the first few, trying to get back on track. The
sorry.
first few no, we both derailed so far. The first few episodes are just fucking awesome.
Mhm.
You know, they're trying to find a way to defeat the dragons. So they think, oh, let's go to this like holy city that's very secluded, and like because they're super fortified, they know how to
Hmm.
defend themselves. They've got great warriors. Let's do it. And they're like, nah, go fuck yourselves.
Hmm.
Uh, so then they're like, let's hire mercenaries, and they're like, no, go fuck yourself.
Hmm.
And then they come across a sphinx. What was really cool about the sphinx in your opinion, Jake?
Well, it wasn't even my opinion. My girlfriend pointed it out, but the Sphinx was a completely different animation style than the rest of the show, which was really fucking cool.
Yeah, it like adds an element of mysticism to the sphinx because
Yeah,
it's not, it doesn't match.
yeah. She was mean though. She was real mean.
Yeah, she separated all the people from the party and basically like tore them down.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know how
Pointed
you're
out their
insecure about
faults.
this?
Yeah,
Focus on it.
yeah.
The
It was great.
saddest one was Scanlan's. It was also the funniest
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, she's like telling everyone like, oh, like this is what you're afraid of. This is what's going on, and then it gets to Scanlan. He's like, you don't have to tell me. He's like, I know that who
I'm
I
a
am.
pervert. Yeah.
Yeah, that I'm a pervert and people don't like me. And she's like, no, nobody cares.
Yeah. You don't matter. And he just goes, well, damn. Yeah. Um,
But the Sphinx sends them on a mission,
Mission.
basically to find. I forget what they called them.
It
Now
was
I
a tomb that had a
yeah
weapon that they could use against the dragons.
right.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of the mercenaries that kind of go with them. They're just
They
douchebags.
follow them. Yeah.
They follow them. They say we're
Hmm.
going to work together, and then they bail the second they actually get into the tomb because they
Yeah.
couldn't get in themselves.
But then they didn't even find the right tomb.
Yeah, we're not entirely sure
I guess, yeah.
because this is where season 3, episode 3 ends.
Hmm.
So we won't know until after this week's episode is
Yeah.
out for the podcast what happens next because this comes out on Fridays. Um, Vex died,
She died. She dead. D-E-D dead.
like OMG dead.
Uh, which is really annoying because her brother told because he basically went into like a hole in the ground. They found like artifacts and shit. And he's like, don't touch anything. Nobody touch anything till I get back. And he goes down in the hole. And Percy, Chad's favorite character,
Least favorite
uh,
character.
is like, hey, I found this thing. I'm gonna touch it. And then it like brought a tomb up. And then Vax is like, we should maybe wait for my brother. And he goes, what are you scared of your brother? Let's
Vex.
just do it anyway. Vex,
Vex is the
whatever.
girl. Vax is the guy, which makes it
Yeah,
very confusing to talk about.
yeah,
But
yeah.
continue. Sorry.
But Percy convinces her to touch it anyway. We're talking about Tomb here. And and it something bad happens and she fucking dies. And I imagine in the next episode, Vax is gonna kick the shit out of Percy because he told him not to touch
Oh,
anything.
I'm assuming, and kind of hoping for it too.
Yeah, Percy's a bitch, dude. I fucking hate his character so much. He had
He's the only
he
thing that I
was
wrote down under cons for the first 3 episodes is just Percy.
yeah. He even in the first season, even though the first season like centered on him a little bit and like he was a little more interesting because he was possessed by a demon and blah blah blah. But even in the first season, he was a fucking crybaby. Like he was still super annoying. And then the demon was like, "Oh, the demon's cool, but this dude's kind of a bitch." And then now, after the first season, the demon is gone. So this dude's just a dude. He's not even special. He's just a fucking guy with a gun.
Yeah, he's an
And like
artificer. He
I
knows
was
how to make
literally
things
ex
blow up.
Nicole hasn't watched the first season, so I was explaining while I was mansplaining the second season to her while we were watching it. And I was like, this guy was possessed by a demon, so gave him like blah blah blah. He was kind of cool in the first season, but he was kind of a bitch. Now he's just a bitch. All he does is shoot a gun. And literally after I said it, he just went pew pew pew. And I was like, yep, that's all he does. And now he killed Vex. So way to go. I hope he gets his ass kicked in the next episode.
And only because I like all the characters. Some I don't really like Percy. Let's be honest. My description of who he was for like our notes was bitch boy with a gun. Um, it again nothing against because in D&D an artificer can be super badass. It's just that like he's
A
like
Republican.
along the lines. Uh, he grew up rich. Couple bad things happened to him.
Likes guns.
He likes guns. Oh God. But like, I would like to see a really cool like redemption of him being like a badass artificer without the whiny attitude, without the silver spoon in his mouth,
Yeah.
without being like oh, because even when they went to the holy city, he's like, I am of nobility. I can negotiate. And he's like, and they got kicked out after like 5 minutes. He's like, well, that's faster than how it normally goes. And it's like, so you also acknowledge that you suck at like negotiating because of your rank. Like, what do you do? Like,
I thought I was hopeful in the first episode he just gets fucking
murked.
zapped by a dragon, and I was like,
He
oh, he's
almost
dead.
did. But
Yeah,
because he like covered, I don't remember. Maybe it was Pike because then she like healed him.
healed him. Yeah, and I was like, no.
Just let him die.
Oh, it's not working. Ah, sorry,
You
bro.
can only have so many permadeaths.
Yeah.
Uh, you need a roll for a death save. If you fail 3 times, you're dead. You need a nat 20 to get back up. Jake isn't following a lot of that terminology.
I'm sorry. I just gotta. Yeah, I don't play the.
Trying. I'll get you to play. No, but I mean, overall, this show is incredible. I highly recommend it to anyone that, one, just likes fantasy, especially if you like, and if you like adult animation where it's gory and vulgar and stuff like that. Or if you're a fan of Critical Role on YouTube and you haven't watched the show, then you're probably not actually a fan. So like that's kind of backwards. But watch the show. It's so good and it
It's a lot of fun.
gets you excited like about D&D when you realize that it's based on things that happen in the game. Tell us about sponsor number 2, Jake, please. Otherwise, I'm going to keep talking about D&D and D, and
Who
we're
does
not going to talk
number
about it.
two work for?
Number 1,
You're an idiot.
Dr. Evil.
Sponsor number
I couldn't
two
remember the
is
exact line, so
that's okay. Uh, I almost said doctor number two. Sponsor number two is Crybaby Craig's hot sauce. It's a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything. Please listen up and we'll tell you more about it.
hey you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today. All right, everyone. As the world knows, as many of you know, The Last of Us has been released on HBO. You can stream it on HBO Max if you don't still have cable. Either way, it comes out Sunday nights, I think at 9 p.m.
Is it
Eastern.
that late? That sucks.
Yeah, Eastern. I think that us in the Midwest, we get it at 8.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. It's this is your spoiler alert
Oh Lord.
spoiler alert warning.
Spoiler
Whoa,
alert.
I just I'm gonna talk about how it's
Do you
fucking
smell burnt
amazing.
toast right now?
I don't know. In this apartment building, I always smell food. So many of my neighbors cook great smelling things, and
Yeah.
instead of opening windows, they open their front door, which sets off the smoke alarm a lot. Uh, Still is great. But if you haven't watched The Last of Us yet, that was plenty of time for you to tune out and come back. Let's talk about this because
Hmm.
holy shit.
Holy Hannah. That's not nice. Wow, what the fuck?
I don't.
Get your bitch in line, bro.
Siri just won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
That's not
I told
nice.
I told you to wait in the car.
Uh, I should get. Holy shit. That's not nice. Never gonna forget that.
Uh,
First and foremost, this show is so true to the game. Like specific scenes, highlights, things.
I've watched stuff about it. I haven't played the game yet. Now that I have the PlayStation, I'm going to play the game. Um, but yeah,
It just
I've
came out
heard
on
that it's
PC, so
very,
I'm going
yeah.
to be getting that so I can play it on PC.
Hmm. I also heard it was very hard.
Hard.
Like the horde. I talked to people who have played it and they're like fucking hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyways,
Played on easy.
uh,
Like
we have a
almost.
theory.
Okay.
We
Let's
have a
get into the
theory.
theory. Yeah.
I
You have a
will
theory.
not.
You're the one
I
that.
don't. I won't claim it as my own because I sent you the link to what I saw. So it's not my theory. Uh, it is a fan theory, but it totally makes sense if you watch the show. I'll do the first one, and then there was another link that you sent me,
That
and then
followed. It just
and then
expanded on it, which.
you run through that one. So I'll run through the first one. You run through that one.
Okay.
I wish we knew the guy's name. We should give him credit for this because it's not our own theory, but we did see this online. We read it. Anyways, the theory is that if you have watched the show, in the opening sequence is it Jack Hanna? Jack Hanna?
John Hannah?
John Hanna? John Cena? No.
Bam, bam,
I think it was
bam.
Jack Hanna.
I can pull that up too.
He was in the Mummy. Anyways, it's like a
It is John
new
Hannah, Dr. Newman.
John Hanna. Yeah. He is describing to a news network of what could happen in a zombie-esque, not necessarily describing zombies, but an apocalyptic type situation where it wouldn't be a virus or a sickness that leveled humanity. It would be a fungus. And the way they justify it in the conversation is saying that a fungus could only survive at a certain temperature, and if that temperature wasn't there, then they would die. And he further explains, well, if something like global warming were to happen, then that fungus would then take over. So this is a zombie apocalyptic kind of show, uh, but I don't know if we call them zombies. They're a
They're
fungus.
infected.
Yeah,
I think that
yeah.
even in the game, again, haven't put merit into the game, or not haven't put merit. I fully believe that it's a fantastic game without
Mm,
even playing it, but I haven't played it,
yeah,
so
I
I
haven't
can't
either.
confirm.
Yeah.
But I think that for the most part, they just call them infected.
Okay. So the theory is that the it's flour. the disease has or fungus has spread through flour. And yes, I mean baking flour. Uh, there are a number of uh hints towards this as in the first episode, which was like about an hour and a half. Um, specifically, Pedro Pascal's daughter in the beginning wanted to make waffles, but they were out of flour. They didn't, so she didn't make it. And then the neighbors offered her biscuits for breakfast, and she declined or Pedro Pascal was like, "We don't have time for that. Get in the truck." So she didn't get to eat the biscuits. And at that time, the grandma was eating a biscuit on the porch. The next time we see the grandma is at the neighbor's house. Pedro's daughter
In the
goes
show,
into
her name
that
is
house.
Sarah.
Sarah goes in. Thank you. Sorry. We didn't write that one out. Did
I
we?
know. I will
Yeah.
for next week, but no.
Yeah. And they offer her cookies, and she declines the cookies because they have raisins in it. And she's like, "Oh no, I don't want raisin cookies." But they show the grandma behind her like fucking tripping out. She's
Yeah.
turning. And then to later solidify that theory, when they put in the movie before the whole thing breaks out, she kind of scolds Pedro Pascal's character
Joel,
for forgetting to pick up a cake.
mm-hmm.
All of those things
Because
take
this
flour.
takes place on his birthday, so he didn't pick up a birthday cake
Hmm.
for them to like celebrate. But
So they
yes,
didn't eat any of the flour that was infected with this fungi, if you will. Not a fun guy, but fun guy.
yeah,
That was
and
funny, fucker. Laugh.
the but also to go further into this, and this is what I sent you
Hmm.
after we talked about this, because I was like, really, I don't know. I didn't think much about it because I knew that it was about the fungus because the whole prequel to the first episode talked about funguses. I didn't think about that, but also on the news, there's like a breaking article or a breaking story that while Sarah is making breakfast for her dad because it's his birthday, she's watching the news and there's a story coming out of Jakarta about a contamination. Jakarta, uh, in the real world, has the largest flour mill in the world,
Hmm.
which means that it is a global pandemic from this contamination. And I didn't, well, I didn't, how would I know that? I don't follow where my gluten comes from. And I haven't played the game, but that was something that was like in the background and they even like talked about it. And there's like, Jakarta, where's that? And, oh, it's in this part of the world. And it's just very interesting. Like it just kind of like solidifies that theory. Again,
Hmm.
the video that I sent you was through like IGN,
But it
like
is the same guy.
IGN.com.
The
Yeah,
same guy that I sent the clip to you, that's the same guy that you sent the video back to me. So,
yeah. It's just
but it makes
expanded, but
sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
it does make
But
sense
neither of
because
us have played the game. I don't know if you're a listener that has played the game, we would love to hear what you have to say. If you want to text us or not text us, but
message us
comment
and
and let us
comment.
know if that's part of the game or if that's something they're doing in the show.
Yeah,
Uh, we're curious because we want to update you guys properly and well, not you guys, but you people properly.
you all,
And yeah, you all,
y'all, if you will.
y'all.
Uh,
What is it good for? Sorry.
absolutely nothing. You all.
Rush Hour.
That's where I was going with it. With Jackie Chan just pronouncing you all. And it's
That's
like,
where I was
no, it's
going. Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Y'all. You all. Love those movies. Anyways, hi.
What's cool is that there are a couple of changes from when Sarah like goes to the neighbor's house because their dog is like freaking out. She finds the dog, she brings it back. The dog is like, no, fuck this shit.
I was literally saying like when the dog like came to her door and she was like, "Oh, what's wrong?" I was like, "Don't bring the dog back to the house. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it." Because I knew that she was gonna die, but I also have not played the game, so I didn't know how or when it was gonna happen. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Don't bring the dog back there. Don't do it. Don't do it."
But from that moment on, there was a couple of changes. Basically, how when Joel, Pedro Pascal's character, comes back to like save her because like he was working late, he had to go like
No, he had to go get his brother
brother
out
out
of
of
jail.
jail, right?
Yeah,
Because shit was just like going down,
yeah.
and but from that on, like their escape, like even it's taken directly from the game. Like looking out the back window of the truck, you see the people in the neighborhood start to attack each other because they're
The house
infected.
on fire.
The house on fire as they're driving. When they come to the fucking T in the road, the T
Uh-huh.
stop with even
Going through the
the signage
cornfield.
through the
Yeah.
cornfield, the plane crashing in downtown
Hmm.
or not downtown, but like Old Town Austin,
Yeah.
like all the way up until Sarah's inevitable death,
Demise. Yeah.
demise. Yeah, it's so much is taken directly from the game. You like this is what The Witcher should be, because like they're being true to the story, and
Hmm.
we've both heard this. Is that they're not going to continue the show
Past the
past the
games.
game
Yeah.
or
Which is
games,
great.
yeah, which
Please
is
don't. Yeah.
fantastic. Don't make shit up. Just
Yeah.
tell the story for those that don't want to play the game.
Hmm.
I'm still gonna
I
go
want to
and
play
play
the
the game,
now. I
but
now I have a PS4 now. I'm definitely gonna play the game.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like for those that don't care about gaming, don't
Hmm.
make more shit up after the game. So what I've heard is that the first season is going to cover part 1 of the game and the second season will cover part 2.
Hmm.
If they release a part 3, I don't know. I haven't played that far, so I don't know if it makes sense for them to. Then yeah, do a third season, but just keep it to the game. Like keep
Yeah.
it to the source material. Don't make shit
Hmm.
up. Obviously make changes so it looks good on camera, but like don't change the story. And it seems
No.
like that's their number one goal is we're
Hmm.
going to change as little as possible.
Yeah.
And that makes it so much better.
Yeah.
It just does.
Yeah. I'm gonna buy the game probably like this week and start playing it. I'm so
Same.
wrapped up in the. For those of you who don't know me, because our listeners don't really know me, but I just got into gaming a couple years ago at the start of the pandemic. And I bought an Xbox. And now, a couple of years later, I have an Xbox, I have a Nintendo Switch, and now I have a PS4. Which I just got, my wonderful girlfriend bought it for me, and she bought me the first two Spider-Man games, and I am rolling through those right now, and they're amazing.
Yeah.
No pun intended. And I'm working on the first one right now. I'm only like 30% through it. 30% through. Did I say it the right way?
Yeah.
Anyways, um, but I now that I have that, I do want to get The Last of Us and start playing that. So
It
yeah, then
I mean
I'll have a
it's
little more
won
insight
all
on
kinds of awards.
yeah.
It's fantastic from everything. But what's interesting is that like the prequel, uh, not it's not a prequel, but the like
You
the
wrote prequel.
I did write prequel, but it's not a true prequel. It's just like the opening scene before the actual show.
Okay.
Really like sets the tone. But you were telling me about something that is happening in the real world that's
Oh,
along those lines.
we going there?
Yeah,
We
we're
going
going
there?
there.
All right. Okay. So the basis of the show is that it's fungus, it's whatever, and global warming. That's global warming is awakening these fungi, These fun guys, they're popping up everywhere and making
Well,
people have
because
fun.
there are
Uh,
parasitic funguses that exist
yeah.
that can take over like small animals,
Mhm.
cold-blooded animals, insects, stuff like that.
But in Antarctica right now, this is a real thing. This isn't a game or a movie, TV show. This is real life. There is a team of scientists right now that are living in Antarctica, and what they're doing is they're digging holes in the ice and pulling out bacteria, viruses, and shit like that, and coming up with cures for those things that we don't have immunities to. Because as global warming, whether you believe it or not, it's a real fucking thing. Uh,
The
is
world is getting
happening.
warmer.
As it's happening, that ice is melting, and those bacteria and viruses are releasing into the water, and we're gonna get sick. And we don't have a defense against that. We don't have immunities against that because it's shit that's
Like
from like
ancient.
it's shit from thousands of years ago that people on
Even
computers and
even hundreds of years ago that like
yeah, we
we
just don't
we
have a
don't have
defense
a
against
yeah.
it. And so their job is to dig these things up, find a cure for them, and they're called super viruses. And some of those viruses, and I'm not saying a zombie apocalypse necessarily, but they are parasitic in nature, and they have been awakened after being dead for thousands of years. Not by scientists awakening them, being like, hey, let's see if we can wake this fucker up. They thought out and just woke up on their own and are parasitic in nature. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That's fucking terrifying. I'm not saying it would be a zombie thing where we're gonna eat each other and blah blah blah, but a parasitic thing like that, who knows what would fucking happen?
Yeah.
It's scary. It's scary. It's scary.
And I mean also as humans like our base temperature is higher than most animals, so like we do have a built-in defense to some degree, but like to some degree.
Yeah,
Like
but look at
as the temperatures change, as these things evolve and adapt,
I was gonna say they adapt. Look at the flu virus. You have to get a different shot every year because the
and
flu
there's like
fucking
six or
mutates every
six or
year.
seven new strains every year,
Yeah.
but the flu virus that you can get every year is just based on the one that statistically speaking could be the most detrimental.
Mm.
Like it's wild. Like this, going back to the show and getting away from scaring the pants off of you about what could potentially be in our futures, uh like the theory behind where the infected come from is real.
Yeah.
It's not like some weird virus that reanimates dead bodies. Like it's
No. That's what's cool about it. That at least from what I've seen in the first episode, because I, again, haven't played the game, it's not like a viral infection. You don't bite somebody and they get infected from it. It is something that is spread through, I'm assuming, pastries, flour.
I mean there's
Uh,
still like bites and stuff like that, but you see like the fungal
mhm.
spores coming out of
But
like
do the
the
but
people biting to then put the spores into that body.
well then again, if you play the game, because we haven't, do they turn from those bites? Because it
We
looked like
saw
they were strictly feeding. I don't know if they turn from it or not, or do they put the spores in them
they put the
after feeding,
spores and then the
and then they
spores grow and
yeah.
reanimate because
Okay, cool, cool, cool,
and
cool,
then
cool,
if
cool, cool.
the cool. Right on. Because then because we also see in the show uh an individual that was trapped and could not feed where the fungus grew out of him and plastered him to the wall.
To the wall. Yep, 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 yep. Cool, cool, cool.
This show is has very creepy elements. It's fucking stressful to watch.
It is like an anxiety attack while
It's
watching it.
so great though.
Yeah,
I I love it. Also, the biggest pro, Pedro
Pedro.
Pascal. I mean, he's
Yeah,
daddy.
vote Pedro.
Oh, I should go get a new shirt. I had one in high school because I was that guy. But
It'd be cool to have a vote Pedro and have a picture of Pedro Pascal on it instead of Pedro from Napoleon
yeah,
Dynamite.
or just like
Let's
in
make
permanent
that.
marker, write Pascal.
We should make that.
Okay.
Can we make that?
Yeah, sure we
Let's
can.
make that. I think we should make that. I want it. But yeah, I mean, fucking holy balls. I mean, my girlfriend was crying. Uh, like actual tears, not
It's
just like, yeah.
emotional. It's stressful. It's
I was getting a little like amped up, like sad, and instead of like feeling feelings, I made fun of my girlfriend for crying. And then it made me feel better. And I was
yeah.
like, "Oh, good, 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 good.
That's
I didn't
called
cry."
deflecting, Jake.
I was like, "Oh my God, this is so sad." And I looked at Nicole and she was crying, and I was like, "Are you crying?" Wuss.
Oh, thank God she didn't notice
Yeah, yeah, she
as you're
didn't see
wiping
it.
your
She didn't see
tears.
it. Yeah. It was like, "Oh, my eyes itch. The fucking cat. God damn it. Allergies."
We really
I'm
only
totally kidding. I'm not a terrible person.
no,
I'm
I
just
know.
making jokes.
Uh, we I guess we only really have one con about the show.
Oh yeah.
And it's
Yep.
nothing personal.
Yeah.
It's nothing against the actresses. Um, just kind of wish that the actresses that played the characters from who played Sarah versus who is playing Ellie moving forward
Hmm.
were switched. I just think that well,
Pedro
we both
Pascal's
do.
or Joel's daughter versus is it Ellie?
Ellie, yeah.
Ellie. I wish that the characters were opposite.
Like the
Uh,
actresses
I
who played them.
I just think, and again, yeah, they're kids, whatever. I'm not gonna be a jerk about it, like I'm not gonna drag them through the mud. I just think that the his was it Sarah, his daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think she did a better job of acting
Yeah.
than the girl who
And
plays
that
Ellie.
the girl that plays Sarah is Nico Parker.
Nice.
She was in like Dumbo, Reminiscence, the live action Dumbo,
Yeah, I saw it. I just
um,
don't remember. Oh,
and then Bella. I wanted to say Ella, and I was like, no, that's too close to Ellie. I know it's different. Ella Ramsey, who a lot of fans might know from Game of Thrones, is
Game
who
of
is
Thrones.
playing Ellie.
You're my king from this day forth to my last day. King of the North. King
King of
of
the
the
North.
North. King of
Like
the North.
nothing against either of those actresses. I just feel like for how big of a role Ellie has, uh, Nico did a better job of portraying emotion in a short time.
Agreed. Yep, 100%.
That's really all it comes down to is the convincing aspect of someone that is like dealing with something.
Mm.
Um, but again, we've only seen one episode. We could be
True.
very much proven wrong and fall in love with Bella Ramsey as
Yeah. And
Ellie.
by the time this episode comes out, our episode, we will have watched
An-
because tonight is episode 2.
yeah,
So
so we might be eating our words as soon as next week. I kind of
I would
hope.
hope.
I hope
I
that we
hope.
are.
I hope so. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I want that to happen. Yeah. I would
absolutely.
love it if next week I'm like, well, we're fucking stupid. She did a great job.
Yeah,
You know.
keep listening, but we're
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
do you have any closing words, Jake, about The Last of Us, other than everyone should go fucking watch it?
Yeah. Oh, I do have one. It's everyone should go fucking watch it.
Fantastic.
All right, we are gonna go ahead and close out this episode, but before we do, Chadley, Chad, Chad awareness. Do we have I don't know where I was going with that.
Guess
Do we
it's now a disease to be a Chad. Thanks.
give us your honorable mentions for the week?
Well, uh, the big one is Hunters season 2. Haven't finished it. I'm maybe halfway through, just shy of halfway through. Man, this show is so fucking good. Also, can we talked about this off camera, but like Logan Lerman's hair,
His hair, god damn it.
fucking glorious.
I'm trying to grow my hair out, and I'm just like, this fucking guy.
I
This
know.
fucking guy. Who are
It's
you to have hair like that,
fucking lion's
fucker?
mane, man. Stop it. Stop.
Stop it.
I also watched it's a movie, well, it's on Netflix, called The Vault. It's a heist film with Freddie Highmore and Liam Cunningham. Freddie Highmore, you would most people would probably know from the Johnny Depp version of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I always forget
He's
which one
also
that's in.
the lead in The Good Doctor.
Yes.
He also
Where,
plays the voice of Astro Boy in the Astro Boy movie.
oh, I did not know that he did that.
Hmm.
That's pretty awesome. Um, he's also just like a
Everything is
really.
awesome.
That's
Sorry.
from the Lego movie.
I know. Just being weird.
Uh, really, it's. I mean, it's a heist film, but it was enjoyable.
Hmm.
There's an element of realness to it based on the vault that they're trying to break into in a bank that was built pre World War II. Pretty awesome, and everything is awesome.
I was like, see?
And then I started watching Warrior Nun on Netflix, and
How's that going?
I don't hate it. It's definitely not geared towards me. Not saying that I don't like the fact that it's a bunch of like strong female characters that are just like kicking ass. It's just one church trauma, and
What was his
two.
name? Father
I'm not Catholic.
Tink Tink.
Was never Catholic, but yeah, it's just it's more geared towards like the audience is more for like a teenage girl, early 20s girl. The
So you love
actions,
it.
the action sequences are kind of cool, but like I'm not like hooked on like some of the character development
Hmm.
because it's like this boy, and I was like, I don't care. I want to see like maybe I'm just generic that way. I just want to see like action and fight sequences, and if you can tie in church conspiracies, all the better. Because like, fuck the church. I said what I said. I'm sorry, Mom. What about you? What are your honorable mentions before I just go off on a deep end on
Uh,
that?
Ace Ventura. We watched both the Ace Ventura movies, which of course I've seen a million times, but uh, it was fun to rewatch early Jim Carrey, you know, talking out of his butt. Like, come on. That shit's
And
fucking
being birthed
hilarious.
out of a robotic rhino. Oh.
I fucking love that scene. Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, it's giving birth." And then the mom is like, "Oh, it's an albino." And he's like, "Blah, blah, blah," and he's like chewing his way out of its ass. Oh my fucking God. I fucking and it actually
It's so funny. It's still funny.
it's so that is actually probably the biggest takeaway from rewatching that is that it's still funny. I'm not a teenager anymore, and it's still fucking funny. I was dying laughing. We watched both of them. It was fucking hilarious. I
Getting the
love
arrow
Jim
to his
Carrey.
legs. Just,
Yeah. Oh no, and then the whole dart, when he gets shot in the neck and he's like running, and he gets shot again, and he's like, 3 darts is too much. And his like arms don't work anymore, and he's oh my God, it's so funny. I fucking love those movies. Um I am also making my way through Hunters season 2. I think you're a little further in than I am right now, but I fucking love it. And another show that you have fully finished that I'm working my way through is Kaleidoscope on Netflix. It is so fucking good. Holy shit. It is the
mm,
not the best. It is one of my favorite TV shows right now. It is. It's just so good.
It's so enjoyable. Once you finish it, I want to compare our watch order
Yeah.
because it changes the story. It changes how
Hmm.
you feel about each character. I mean, we went in depth about it a couple weeks ago. Well, our last episode.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I love that show.
Hmm.
It was great.
I don't
Anything
think we're
else?
very far from being done with it. We probably have like 2 episodes left and we're done.
Oh, okay.
By next week, we'll be done.
Perfect.
Yeah. Not that there's much more to talk about than we've already talked about, but
Yeah.
maybe throw it in there for my honorable mention.
And
Yeah.
it'd be interesting just for our own off camera conversation about it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is Jake's favorite line. If you like what we're doing,
Give us your money,
yeah, please, uh,
please.
please, yes,
Mm, please.
Daddy. I don't think Pedro Pascal is going to give us money, but if we keep calling him Daddy, he might. Uh,
Yeah.
he seems to like it. No, but
If you know, you know.
yeah, if you know, you know. But if you like what we're doing here, there are multiple ways to support us. Uh, the biggest one is through buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. It's a way where you can give us your money on a monthly basis, but you get some. If no one is watching that and they're just listening, I totally broke character. Jake just licked his microphone and he has a ball sack hanging from it, just like I do. It's great. Give us your money, please. It does help us tremendously. We don't make anything from this. It just helps us do more things, make
Every
everything sound
single
better.
dollar that we make
Goes
goes
in
back into this podcast. Every
exactly.
red cent. We have never taken any money and been like, hey, let's go shopping. It
No,
literally gives us better content to put back into this podcast, which is what we want to do. And we have very exciting things coming up that we're also going to put into this, but we can't tell you about it right now.
yeah, because they're still
A
planning
lot of work,
stages.
a lot of work to do.
Yeah, a lot of work to do. We can start hinting at it probably in the near future.
Nearish, yeah.
Near, yeah, that sounds better. If you don't want to give on a monthly basis, you can still give a one-time donation through buymeacoffee.com. Or, I mean, good on you. That would be super helpful for us. But if you're going to give just one time, I think we would both recommend you going to our web store
Hmm.
at allthingsnerdpodcast.com because then you can still walk away with some cool merch.
Buy
Uh,
some shit, yeah.
we're updating it. There's some stuff that's going to be coming off soon because, well, the seasons have changed. So our seasonal gear is going away. Um, all that's there. If you can't give money, that's fine. Or if you just don't want to. I mean, I totally get it.
Spread the word, you
Yeah.
know? Tell your friends.
Follow us on social medias.
Yeah.
Share,
Tell
like,
your
subscribe.
moms. We say sorry, mom, all the time. They'll
Because
get
we
it.
because we respect mothers.
Yeah.
We're just vulgar, which is why we have to apologize to mothers because we love them.
Love you, mom.
Love you too, mom. But with oh, I almost said it. It's been a long time since we've been
With
called out
that
for
being
it.
said,
Yeah. Go ahead and bring it home.
fuck off San Diego.
Jake,
We
close us
love
out.
you. We love you. Thank you so much for listening, watching, whatever you're doing, donating. Yeah. Peace out. This is the All Things Nerd podcast. I was like, what are you doing? Yeah, we do a shot. We've been doing this for a little while now.